Hi, this video is the Algebra 2 first semester and second semester Plato introductory video. If you have used Plato before, you will find that this course, Algebra 2, is a little bit different. The reasons why it's different is that we had to add a lot of offline activities. So we had to find material to have you guys use. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit about this course and hopefully you'll find it useful. Right now we're in the Algebra 2 first semester. We call that semester A. So you'll see that the chapters are going to be named a little bit different. So if you're somebody who's enrolled in the Algebra 2 semester B, you're going to see that these names are going to change somewhat for second semester course. So here you are in Plato, and the first thing you guys need to do is you need to print out and read the Plato Algebra 2 parent-student notification. So if you'll just click on that, it'll bring up a PDF file that tells you a little bit about the course. You definitely want to read this as well as the syllabus that was sent to you by your instructor. Make sure that if you have any questions at any time that you contact your instructor for the course at that time. You can see that down below we have created what we call a class wiki, and you want to have this link ready to go and maybe save it as a favorite as you're working throughout this course. The problem is we need to create a lot of outside offline activities. Those offline activities do not have any video tutorial support. So for an example, we've created this wiki site, and I'm going to click on it here so you can see it. And this wiki site will have video help for each of what we call the study guide intervention worksheets. So we call that the SGIs. And so here's for those of you who are in semester A, Algebra 2, and for semester B, Algebra 2. You can also click over here to get to the two semesters, and home takes you to this home page. So for an example, well, before we get to the example, we also have some additional links such as Khan Academy, mathtv.com, site by Patrick MT, and your Math Gal and Yay Math. These all are excellent sites in which you can visit to also find other helpful videos for whatever topic you might be learning. Even if it's a Plato module, if the Plato instruction is not very helpful, don't forget you can always go to some of these other websites. And don't forget YouTube. YouTube or TeacherTube is a great site for you to just search for a particular concept. So again, let's click on semester A. And this is a work in progress. We're not done with this. I'll be working on this as we go along, so you'll find sometimes extra links in here. But you can see that on the SGI, again, SGI stands for Study Guide Intervention, and 1-2, so that is one of the offline activities that we're going to have you do. The topic is properties of real numbers, and here's several different links that might be of use to help you with that particular concept. Also, we have some flashcard practice that will help you with that concept as well. So here are some links that you might find useful. As you can see, the SGI 1-1, expressions and formulas, there's no links there yet. We'll be adding those as we go along. Here's 1-3. Now you might be wondering, why are these out of order? Because it looks like 1-1 should go first and then 1-2. Well, we put these links in order of how you are going to be seeing the study guide intervention offline activities. So because you're going to be seeing 1-2 first within the Plato course, that's why it's listed first. So these are in order of the SGI activities. Now remember, these are activities that are offline that you must complete and turn in before you take the chapter test. You will have other module Plato activities to do as well. So again, at any time, if you have any questions or concerns on what you need to do, always email or contact your instructor for the course at that time. And if you wanted to get back, you can just go home. So I would suggest once you get to this site that you go and make it a favorite, because you're going to be using this site quite often. So that's the Algebra 2 parent information that also has the wiki link in there as well. So the next thing you're going to do after you read this and go to the class wiki and save that class wiki link as your favorite, then you want to go to the study guide intervention workbook. And you're going to see that throughout this course, you're going to be giving those activity, and you're going to have to go here to get the actual workbook pages. So if you click on that, it does take a while to download. This one's it's a little bit of information. It says the first thing you need to do in this course is click on the link below to download the study guide intervention workbook. Once you download it, be sure to save it on your computer for future reference. So here is where you're going to have to download this link right here. And here's an example of what it's going to look like. So you're going to have to go through, and when we tell you to do 1-1, then you're going to have to go find 1-1 in this online workbook, and you want to print out just that 1-1. Or if you wanted to, you could do the problems on your own piece of paper, but always make sure you label them 1-1 study guide intervention expressions and formulas whenever you do anything on a regular piece of paper. As you can see, if you print this out, there's not going to be room to show work, so you're going to have to make sure you're showing your work. And you can click on the bar over here and it gives you certain examples. You want to make sure you click on the study guide intervention one. If you have any questions with that course, contact your instructor. So that's the study guide intervention workbook that you're going to need. So here's your very first unit is on linear equations. So let's open that up and see what that looks like. So you can see you have a pretest. You want to take the pretest and do the best you can. You really don't want to use a calculator if you don't have to, because your tests, your post-tests, most of them will be non-calculator based. So you want to make sure you're doing the best. Don't get help with anybody on the pretest. That's very important, because we want to know what you already know, because if you know certain things, it'll exempt you out and you can skip those modules. And you may think, oh, well, that's fantastic. I'm going to get lots of help and skip out of a lot. The problem is that you have to take the post-test, and the post-test can only be taken one time. So you need to make sure that you know all these concepts prior to taking that test, because that's going to depend on your grade. So here's an example. You want to take the pretest first, and here is your first offline activity. Notice it says SGI. That is your study guide intervention, and it's lesson 1-2. So that's where you're going to have to go to that book, and you're going to have to find the 1-2, and you're going to have to do those problems. So if you click on this, again, it'll give you a real numbers chart. It'll give you some information there. So there's a little bit about some tutorials and information. This is just some helpful information for you. So make sure you click on links. There's the student study guide. Let's go back to that unit 1. There's so here once again, so we try to give you this every single time. So remember, you're going to do section 1-2 of the study guide, and there's the link to get to it. But remember, you've already saved that link, so you don't have to open that link up all the time. That's the study guide book that you downloaded. So it's going to take a little bit of time for you to get used to the system. So, feel free to call and ask. Once you get used to it, then everything will go much easier. So once you finish the study guide activity, here are the answers for you. So you can double check your answers. So we went ahead and posted the answers to the SGIs. That way you can self-check yourself to make sure that you're doing it right. And again, if you have any questions or concerns, if you think any of these answers are wrong, you'll let your instructor know that you have questions or concerns. So every study guide activity should have answers provided for you so that you can self-check yourself. Remember, it's all about you understanding and learning, so when it gets to the test, which is with 55% of your grade, the post-test you'll do much better on. So you're in the study guide. Again, up here it says SGI lesson. If you ever forget what you're doing, it also says it up here. So here are the answers. So A is for answers. So AK are answers to the study guide section. Here's your actual assignment for the study guide, and here's a mastery. Once you feel like you know what you're doing with the study guide, we want to know how well you can do without getting any help from anybody. So this is something you would have to print out. This is like a quiz, and you are going to take this mastery for the study guide, and you're going to answer all the questions, and then you're going to have to bring that to your instructor. They will grade it and give you points for it. So make sure that you know the material first before you take the mastery quiz. Let me show you what that looks like again. So again, we're in the SGI 1-2, and right here it says MT for Mastery SGI. So again, here you have you practice from that booklet. You check your answers from that study guide, and then you take a mastery on that. Okay? Oops, let me get back in there. Once you finish the SGI lesson 1-2 and you take the mastery, all that good stuff, then you'll go to simplifying algebraic expressions. And you can see the ones that have the little stars over here, those are the ones that were constructed from the Plato curriculum. So those are the ones that will have tutorial videos. So you'll click on that, run through the tutorial videos. Once you feel like you understand it, you'll go to the mastery. So you can go through the tutorials as much as you want. You go to the mastery and you must get 8 out of 10 right. If not, you have to go back through the tutorial, make sure you know what you're doing, and take the mastery test again. I allowed you to take the mastery test up to 3 times. After that, it's going to lock you out. You're going to have to let me know if you get locked out, and I'm going to have to talk to you, find out what the issue is before I'll open it up for you again. You can see here's another offline activity. This is coming from Plato, so if you have any questions or concerns, contact your instructor on that. But you must also do these offline activities well. So you can see there's 2 types of offline activities. There's the ones that are from the actual Plato course, and then if I go back, you will see the other ones that we added are the SGIs. So again, here's another SGI lesson that we added, and then here you can see this is a Plato module. Once you get down with all of these things, you can see that it says alert to the Plato teacher. This is a reminder to you and to the teacher that we are not using in this course the Plato post-test. On a few units, we are using the Plato post-test, but most of them we are not. So this is a reminder to you and the teacher that they are going to give you a paper test. It's not going to be online. So this is just a little of information for you to know. Okay, as you can see, here is a lock button. That means I've locked this, that you cannot get into anything that's locked. So post tests have to be taken at the virtual learning school, at the computers with a teacher or a proctor present. If there's any other locks and you think you're supposed to be able to get into them, just email your instructor. I hope you found this video a little helpful. We also have discussions up here. So every once in a while we'll throw in some discussions in there, and you need to make sure that if they're discussions that you answer them back. And periodically you might get messages from your teacher, so you need to make sure that check your messages and send any messages as well. Remember never to click your back button. You always want to go home. And don't forget to log out. That's really important, because if you forget to log out, it looks like you're still in there, and we only have so many licenses. So if you're having troubles getting into the system, it could be because a bunch of people have not logged out. So it's important that you make sure you log out.